I'm Dylan, and other members of my team include David, Vivek, and Nishan. So this entire business plan kind of started actually at our school. So initially started as a part of a project at our required research class, and um, we kind of developed this idea. The group that I developed this idea with, they my current members weren't originally on that team, but it was after when school ended that I saw the vision and opportunity in this novel invention. So I just took it out outside the classroom, and that's how we kind of ended up here. So we just been working on it over the summer, trying to refine the actual physical prototype, and obviously also going through the BizWorld program as well.
Yeah, exciting. And so, am I right in pronouncing it SanoSyn?
Yes, yes.
Nice. And so, for people that aren't aware, what is SanoSyn? What does it do?
Yeah, so SanoSyn, we're trying to invent novel ways of refining current different medical devices. So our current project is focusing specifically on automated anesthesia that's also portable. So in many rural areas, they don't have access to the same care or healthcare that we do in more urbanized areas. So they will either have limited access to healthcare, or they have to travel very far just to receive the same care that we get. So we kind of looked at the different issues, and we found that it wasn't just the availability of anesthesia machines, but also the availability of people who are capable of administering it. So we decided to combine two problems together to kind of form the portable automated anesthesia system. The automated system removes the need for, you still need a professional in the room to administer it, but it limits all of the different burdens. If you just have one anesthesiologist, it just limits the burden of applying it. So you can handle more patients at once. And due to the fact that it's portable, you can take it anywhere.
Nice. An automated and portable anesthesia machine. And it sounds like
Yes.
the problem that you all are solving
Mhm.
is if it's in sometimes in rural areas or if there's not enough professionals, anesthesiologists to go around is somewhat the problems. All right.
Yes.
Nice, man. Why does this matter to you? Like, where did you first decide to solve this problem?
So, just going back to that, going back to the research classroom, where we came up with the idea, it initially started as just a ton of brainstorming between what we should do for our research class. And it was just multiple different iterations of ideas until we sort of thought we didn't really come up with the idea looking at the disparities. It was just more of a random idea that sort of popped into our head. And then we kind of did further research into that, and we discovered that it was an actual issue. So that's how we came
No.
up with that idea. And it initially started off as just automated anesthesia to just help anesthesiologists be able to, you know, administer anesthesia without having, all the other burdens. But we discovered that it was already done. So we wanted to combine another aspect, which was the actually making the machine portable.
And you're overarching solving a much bigger issue now, also, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
having to be able to go into remote areas or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice, Dylan. That's awesome, my friend. And so
Mhm.
the Yes program with BizWorld, how did it actually help you all to shape your business, the idea and the strategy overall?
Yeah. So it basically, it one thing that it really shaped our approach was really the network that it provided us. I feel like the network was the biggest thing that we got from the ES program, and we were able to it created a sort of pipeline to professionals that would have been much harder to get without the ES program, because we would have had to been cold emailing. And
Mm.
being in the Yes, we were able to connect with a network from our business mentor, and we were actually able to connect with a professional in the field. So we were able to ask a lot of questions, and it helped refine on how we decided on creating that physical device, as well as the business plans and everything related to SanoSyn.
Oh, nice, nice. Thinking back before the program,
Mhm.
why did you originally apply for it?
The reason why I originally applied for it is because, well, first of all, how I discovered Yes was actually through social media, and
Great.
it was actually it was actually through TikTok. So it wasn't from specifically you guys. It was just
Okay.
from it was from a third party. So that was how I kind of discovered it, and I thought the program looked pretty neat. So that was the main reason why I applied.
Okay. If you can remember, like what maybe excited you most about it that actually got you to look deeper and actually apply?
Honestly, the thing that got me pretty excited about it was the possibility for a grant. That was maybe the main thing that drew me in because,
Yeah.
a grant for any business is very valuable. But I still walked out of it with a ton of other stuff, such as like networks and also new skills.
Yeah. How great is it that, thinking back at it, the grant is what excited you most, but it sounds like the network that the Yes program provided is actually kind of what's helping you all the most right now.
Yeah, yeah. The network definitely helped us a lot because even after the Yes program like maybe ends, we still always have these like valuable connections to like the BizWorld alumni, our business mentors, just everyone that's like always helping support us no matter like even into the near future. It's just really good having that connection that I I feel like we would like in 10 years time, I would not have the connections I have now.
Wow. That's great. Nice, man. Thanks for sharing that. Um,
Yeah.
so a big goal of ours is to attract more young entrepreneurs into the Yes program. And
Mhm.
so, how would you explain what the Yes program is to your best friend?
Well, I would definitely call the Yes program a business accelerator. So if they are familiar with what a business accelerator is, I'll probably just explain to them that it's something to help you develop your business skills. Like if you haven't done anything, and as the name implies, it helps accelerates your business, whether it be like giving you like I mentioned before, new connections and new knowledge. But it's just the BizWorld Yes program helps you refine your business skills. Also, I'll probably really emphasize the I always keep going back on this, but the connections you make, it's so invaluable.
Yeah, awesome, nice. Yeah, business accelerator that helps you actually develop your skills, your business, and then the connections that you make is absolutely huge as well. Thinking through the program, what are some of the biggest lessons or skills that you've gained from BizWorld?
One of the big skills that I learned personally from this world was about all the different stuff that goes into budgeting. Like before this world, I just assumed like your budget was something similar like I do on a day to day, like whether budgeting my savings and what to purchase. But walking out of this world, I learned that budgeting is not, well, it's not just like applied to like physical income. It can also be applied to your time, labor, and all of that. Because all of that is considered money that you also have to take in. Like the amount of effort and the amount of time you put in also should be considered in your budget because your time is valuable too.
Wow. Okay. So beforehand, you didn't think about budgeting, let's call it almost like labor expenses, like when it comes to your time.
Yeah.
Is that something that you all have now built into the actual budget for SanoSyn?
Yeah. Yeah. So we try to take account into the different costs, like even associated with labor and time as well, not just the physical cost of the product.
Mm, mm. Nice. Yep. Labor is like ends up being sometimes some of your biggest costs. Like you'd be pretty
Yeah. Yeah.
surprised with it, huh?
Mhm.
Great. Could you share? I know connections was a big thing for you. And so could you share a memorable moment with a mentor or even like a colleague in the program that really stuck with you?
I'd say my most memorable time was probably the meeting with Dr. Zimmer. So he was just a connection. He was the healthcare professional I was talking about before, but we connected to him through our business mentor, Mr. Lark. And yeah, that was a really memorable experience because it just had so much like we were able to get like almost all of our questions answered in such a short period of time. And it gave us so many perspectives, like so many new perspectives. For example, when we were building the actual prototype, when you're administering anesthesia, you have to track certain vitals. So we thought we had to track like a ton of different vitals, like your blood pressure, your heart rate, and just a ton of other different vitals. But after speaking to him, we were able to limit it down to only three because those were the only three that were required. And it's not on the top of my head, but I think something related to like EKG and two other values. But that really saved us a lot of like how to budget because there weren't a lot of things on the market for something like blood pressure, which is not one of the required components. So we were stressing a lot about how we were going to budget all of these costs to monitor all these health vitals. But Dr. Zimmer just showed us that we don't need all of these things.
That's great. So going into it, you thought that you're going to have to be almost a much more complex product, but
Yeah.
because of this connection that you all made, you were able to simplify and move forward a lot faster.
Yeah.
Nice. A lot of the young entrepreneurs in the YES program tell me about how great it is to connect with other entrepreneurs. Like how did being surrounded by a community of young entrepreneurs impact you?
Yeah. So we were like throughout many of the different like yes sessions that we had, it's really interesting to hear about, all the different perspectives that there are. I remember for one of the sessions where we were talking about the clips and strengths, it was really interesting to see like it kind of also shows your character, like which type of people you may resonate, like who have the same personality. And it's really interesting to see that connection between the clips and strengths in their characters and how they organize their final pitch on the pitch day. So it's just really interesting to see that connection.
Okay. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you mean like how different personality types like approach their pitches?
Yeah, yeah, kind of like
Okay.
that.
Okay. And so like did actually hearing each other's pitch help to actually change the way that you were presenting it, or explain to me a little bit differently?
Yeah, so throughout the different uh Thursday sessions, there were many times where we had like, surprise pitches
Mhm.
and we noticed some of the different uh stuff that we are missing in our pitch. Like for example, I remember um one group member included hooks, which we didn't really account for. And that translated to what we did on pitch day and it helped us a lot. So just looking at the different like what each group did during those surprise pitches, we were able to incorporate all of these elements and also discover what we were missing in our own individual pitches.
Beautiful. Nice, man. By hearing others' pitches, you realize the pieces that you're missing that you need to add
Mhm.
in, which clearly helps you all because, you're now a finalist after
Yeah,
pitch day, huh?
yeah, it helped us a lot.
Exciting. So looking forward, let's say that you all, you're moving on to demo day, and let's say that you win. What's the future looking like for SanoSyn? What will the seed funding be used for?
Yeah, so with SanoSyn, since we are operating in the medical field, it obviously there are many different regulations that may be difficult to cover with the seed funding anyways, because with like FDA regulations, it might cost upwards of like even 100,000. So it's very expensive. So
Mhm.
what the primary thing that seed funding will go to is to actually refine and build the physical prototype. So it'll just basically go into helping us create the different iterations of the prototype. But I wouldn't say the seed funding will actually help us go into the market. It's a very important step in helping us, get that leg up.
Yeah. Okay, nice. It's going to be used because, I mean, physical prototyping, especially in the medical industry, can be so expensive, huh?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So pushing you guys in the direction of actually getting your product ready to go to market.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Nice. I'm thinking a little bit more towards young entrepreneurs who could be applying to the program. Like, why do you
Mhm.
think business accelerators, programs like Yes, are actually important to young entrepreneurs?
Well, yeah. So it basically provides an environment where there's low risk because it helps kind of
Mhm.
create a simulation where you're able to go through the different actions with the business, but without the risk of like, losing everything. Because in the real world, if sometimes not all businesses succeed. And sometimes this can really, yeah, ruin a person if they invest everything into it. So it's kind of difficult to get the hands-on experience with this associated risk. But business accelerators that help you develop skills and also like simulate this like environment where you can go through the motions of a business without actually like having the risk of losing everything. So it actually gives you hands-on experience without, the risk.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. I actually haven't heard that before. I mean, what would you say directly to another young entrepreneur who's actually thinking about applying to the YES program?
I would definitely say like I talked about before, there's really no risk and only all gain because you don't really lose anything from attending the business accelerator program. Like even if they overlap and stuff, it all it does is just it helps like it helps make your knowledge more solid. There's no risk in applying to the YES program because even if they do overlap in knowledge, like even if you may have already some experience in like the business field into like the YES program might cover the same stuff you already did. As I mentioned before, you gain the actual you gain an environment where you can actually test the skills that you learn. And you'll have the possibility of even employing this in the real world through the grant. And I always keep going back to this, but the connections you make are so important. And you just develop such a strong network of people that will support you, frankly, throughout your entire life.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm happy to hear that you have that mentality because BizWorld is here to support all of our young entrepreneurs, like
Mhm.
for forever moving forward and give as many
Yeah.
connections as possible. Um, Dylan, I appreciate it, my friend. Like last question
Yeah.
I
Thank
have
you.
for you is we were able to provide this programming at no cost, right, to all the young
Mhm.
entrepreneurs through a lot of
Yeah.
support and donations. Why do you think that someone, whether it be a business, an individual, why should someone support and donate to BizWorld and the YES program?
Well, as everything, entrepreneurs are really the future of a lot of different stuff. And a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs. And obviously, entrepreneurs help the economy significantly. So by investing in like business accelerators such as Yes, you are able to gain. You're basically kind of investing back into the economy because you're investing into the skills of the youth, and the youth are the future. So by investing into business accelerators like this, you're helping essentially build the future where um you're able to help businesses thrive.
Wonderful. Nice. That's awesome. You're investing into the future of the economy, right? Youth are the future. You're helping to develop their skills, and thus you're helping to develop the future economy as well.
Yeah.